I'm going to share some dating advice that you don't even have to pay $10,000 for. Number one, I stopped looking for a man years ago. I remember I was sitting texting one of my friends as we were both signing up for a dating app, and I just stopped and I paused and I said, "This is stupid. I don't want to do this anymore." And she was like, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I just feel like this is a waste of time and I don't want to do it anymore." Now, me and her wound up not being friends anymore because she was very much male centered and I just didn't want any parts of that anymore. But not worried about that freed up so much more time and energy for me. There was so much more shit I could do with my time than spending hours upon hours on end scrolling left and right on an app. The next thing I did is I got a fucking life. I got out of my comfort zone, got to know more people, started treasuring going out by myself, which is something that I've always done. So that really wasn't anything new. The next thing I did was combined with those first two things, I stopped acting like being alone was the worst thing that could happen to you, because it's not. Nobody's ever died from not being in a relationship. The worst thing that could possibly happen is getting in a relationship with a horrible person and wasting valuable time that you can never get back. Getting used, abused, traumatized, and worst case scenario, unalived. The next thing I did is I don't act like I need men. I don't. I literally will let you know I lived before you, and if this shit ends, I will live after you. Don't get it twisted. Act like a damsel in distress. Act like you don't know. Because then they start to get cocky and they think they have power over you. Absolutely not. Next thing, say what you want. I'm a black person, I'm a black woman in America. My simple existence is tough, so I'm not paying for shit or doing anything cheap. You want to go get coffee? Do that on your own time. I do that when I'm running errands. I grab coffee when I'm out with my daughter. I grab coffee when I'm out with my friends. I'm not risking my life to get a mocha frappuccino with you. But Jules, if you go out to dinner, they're going to expect you to have sex with them. Dudes expect you to have sex with them if they see you out at the gas station minding your business. So I highly doubt that throwing a triple dipper into the mix is going to change anything, Sarah. Calm down. The next thing I did is the moment I realized that we're not on the same page, I ended. I don't waste my time. There's no part two. There's no more to the story. I would have very boring story times if I told you about some of the dates that I went on, because the moment I figured out that you were on some bullshit, you never heard from me again. That was the end of the story. No, I'm not going to do it for the plot, because again, that's my valuable time that I can never get back. Buy a rose and play with yourself, not these men. All right. Next thing I did, in addition to that, is I block and move on. But I just keep in contact with them because I like when they come back months later and tell me that they miss me. Sarah, they're coming back to see if you're stupid enough to accept them back. That's not anything to be proud of. That means everybody else that he's trying to play games with isn't on his bullshit ass time, and he's trying to see if you are. He doesn't care about you as a person. He's not back to ask you for forgiveness and to try this again. He's back to play you, and worse than he did before. Let his ass go. Next thing I did is I don't change my life. If I have a routine that I do every Sunday at 5 o'clock, I'm still going to do that routine every Sunday at 5 o'clock. If I have plans to see my friends, I'm still going to see my friends. If I need space and some time alone, I need some space and some time by myself to rest, relax, and rejuvenate. Next thing is, I'm not jealous of anyone. I'm not fighting anybody for you. If a woman walks up and flirts with you, that's on you as far as how you respond. And if you don't respond properly, you just won't hear from me again. But I'm not getting huffy and puffy with Sarah. If Sarah can take you from me, I never had you, and now she can. Politics and worldviews being in common are non-negotiable. I'm not dating a racist. I'm not dating a bigot. I'm not dating a misogynist. I'm not dating a red pillar. None of that. Nope. And the moment I find out what type of time you are on, that's it. You're black. The other thing I did is I didn't accept disrespect. You want to try to neg me and make fun of me and do little passive aggressive sneak disses. The first time you do it's the last time you do it. I also stopped when I snapped out of it. I stopped making excuses for men. Well, maybe he said that because he's just having a long day. Maybe he just did that because he's frustrated. No, he did it because he thought he could disrespect you. End of discussion. Now, you're blocked. Classy block. The next thing I did is I got rid of the timeline. As a matter of fact, I just stopped wanting relationships. Just, I never cared anymore about it. So there was no timeline of having to do things by a certain time. Money is important. How much money you make matters, especially in my age group. How you manage money, how you spend your money, what you invest in. Can you save money? Next thing is I have to be attracted to you. I'm not making excuses. Maybe I could just grow to love him. Well, he has a great personality. Bullshit. Men don't compromise on that. Whatever they want is what they want. And that's the end of the discussion. I'm the same way. And I realize that just because somebody is attractive doesn't mean they're going to treat you better. I've dated plenty of attractive men who treated me like shit. But I don't want something like that to happen and also know that I started compromising from the jump, or to realize that I got played by a dude I didn't even want in the first place. Another thing I did was I stopped comparing myself to other people. I'm happy for you that you met the love of your life. I'm so happy for you. But I'm not you. And how y'all met is not going to necessarily be how I met. My story is going to be my story. I might not meet the one until I'm 80 or 60. I got rid of the timeline and comparing myself to other people. This is my life. This is my journey. I'm going to have my own story. I also stopped being afraid of communicating respectfully, of course, and I was no longer afraid to say no. If I at any point thought, well, if I tell him this, he's going to stop liking me or it's going to make him mad. Over, done. You're either not the person for me or I've got some more healing to do so I can learn how to set boundaries and advocate for myself. If I said no or I don't want to do something or something makes me feel uncomfortable and you got mad, you're blocked. Long story short, the 3 B's: bitchiness, boundaries, blocking.